Hey, it's Herbert. And you're listening to the About Last Night podcast, you slippery little son of a bitch. Oh, it's comedy in your ears, which we all love.
You're listening to the About Last Night podcast with my boy, Adam Ray. About last night.
What up? Is the video okay?
Dude, you're looking just HD, fucking fire. You got the Cardinal red on. You got the
It doesn't like it's crazy with the like how expensive these damn MacBooks are, and the cameras look like shit from my end.
Dude, I look like shit?
But I gotta I've been like streaming video games and shit like that on my free time. So like I had these tech people come over and like set up this fancy setup. I got a mic like you got and the headphones.
Yeah.
So I think I'm used to that. I'm used to that quality.
Oh, so you're just going off the speakers off the MacBook, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your game, by the way?
Call of Duty.
Fuck, dude. Can I be honest? My brother, he's younger, and I'm actually about your age. You just turned what, 45? No, I'm just joking. You look like, dude, I mean, you're 23. I can't believe you're 15 years younger than me.
Yeah.
How do I look younger than you? That's crazy. I guess I wash my face a lot. I guess that's.
I know, right? It's nuts.
No, but dude, he's obsessed with the first-person shooter games, and I'm like, I've been always a true Madden 2K guy, like just through and through, right? But he's so into the shooter games that he's gotten me into them because he's like, you know, there's been times where we've been kicking it over the holidays or whatnot. He's like, dude, just sit down and play a couple rounds with me.
Yeah.
So I'll play Halo or Call of Duty. Dude, that shit is intense. And like the people that are really good are scary. Like you look at them after and you're like, you need to fucking take a walk around the block or something, man. Because like you just took down 80 strangers and didn't even blink.
I have no remorse for it either.
No remorse.
No remorse.
What are you playing like on Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, good for you, man. A little extra cash.
I've been twitching away. I've been grinding.
Was that one of the first things you went to once this all hit and you were like, oh, I guess we're, because when we met at the Jordan Palmer QB camp,
yes,
which I was trying to play it cool because it was like, you know, that's for me was so cool to even be at, but this was like just a regular sits for you guys, just with the best of the best QBs and receivers. Like, and
right.
you're pre, I don't know how many times you'd gone to this pre-workout situation before the season started. Was that your first time there or no?
That was my second time. I had went down. Oh. Well, I didn't go down for an extended period of time last year, but Kyle and Josh both were like, man, you got to stay in the house with us. Like, you got to train with us. And I'm staying in a house full of QBs. I can get all the catches that I want to get. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that. And so, that was my first time staying down there in San Clemente, and it was amazing.
When you're even staying in the house with QBs, is it just like football's always on the mind to where you're like, yo, I got to go take a shit? And he's like, yo, can you run like a fucking quick post route on your way to the dookie, and then you can just fucking catch a –
It's funny. It's funny you say that because we had like 3 footballs laying around the crib. And so, like, I mean, anywhere somebody went, like, yo, I'm going to go upstairs real quick, like, and it's like, hey, hit me. Like, you know, somebody's got the ball, like, immediately, or somebody's upstairs, like, throwing the ball upstairs. I mean, it's football 24/7.
Were you one of those kids in high school that carried the ball around with them around school?
Not around school, but at the house for sure. Yeah. My dad's got, like, plenty photos of me, like, on the couch or something, just with a football asleep, just always had it in my hand.
That's crazy. From what age do you think?
Little, like I would say 3-4 years old. I had a little stuffed football, and I used to love watching Sunday Night Football with him. That was like me and dad time. And it was funny. He would make me run back and forth, you know, in front of the TV. You know, he's he wants to get a little chuckle out. So he would just like drill me with it, like in the face. And, it's fun and games. You're playing with your little son.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would tell him like, throw it as hard as you can. Like, come on, throw it. And he would just drill it at me until I catch it. But until then, like I always had a football with me. I still do. Like I have 2 footballs in my car. I always go around. I got a football, literally right behind me that I just always have to have around.
That has to play a factor in just like your familiarity and touch with the ball. Yeah. Like after a certain amount of time, I'm sure I don't know if there's anything that's written where it's like, if you sleep with a ball, you want to talk about 10,000 hours on the field. We're talking about 10,000 hours in bed, like with the ball. That makes you a better, like it's proven. Like, there's probably some guy that's trying to make money off that where he's like, look at Larry Fitzgerald slept with the ball 6 times a week. Right. And like in between his legs, just in case he caught one there. But I'm sure that does translate, right? Like, do you remember, is there a specific time, even like for comics, people always ask, like, when do you feel like you turned a switch on stage and you really like came into your own? Like as a receiver, was there a time when you felt like, oh shit, like not only I'm obviously like done my conditioning part, so I'm in great shape, but like, was there a game or a practice where you and the ball just fucking synced up and you're like, dude, I think I'm about to take my game up a notch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's funny that you say that, like with like the touch and feel of a ball, because if the defense is on the field for like a while and I'm sitting on the bench, I'll go and like I'll ask one of the equipment guys to just pass me a ball and I'll just walk around with it and just kind of hold it, toss it in my hands. Cause like just the feel of the ball, like it kind of like boosts your confidence in a sense, but like you're more confident stepping back on the field. Like, all right, if first series we're out there and Kyler throws me a heater, like I'm not caught off guard by, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of like wakes up your nerves in your hands. I don't know. It does something psychologically for you.
Dude.
But I would say like in college, like my freshman year, and I had like a crazy first 4 games in my freshman year.
Oh yeah.
And
you went off.
Yeah. It was just like, that 4th game we played against Arkansas, and it was my first SEC game, and like I was just catching everything, and I'm like, damn, like.
Are you in your head like, oh, I'm gonna be the best ever?
Oh,
dude.
I was just like, this is easy. Like, I didn't think, nobody told me it was gonna be this easy, but every game I've played in to date since I've been in college, I've dominated. So like, only like Lord only knows where I could go from here. And so it was pretty early in college where I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking off.
Does that camp? I mean, you're just talking about catching heaters. Josh Allen, I mean, you were there for that. First of all, you were so cool. That I got to be honest, man. That was like a very, I've been a fan of you since your A&M days, and although I got buddies that are like, dude, I saw fucking Kirk play at Saguaro High School, man. That guy fucking was the shit, dude. These are obviously like old town bros. They're like, that guy fucking rules, dude. But he's fucking, dude, we're from the same fucking city, dude.
Right. Totally.
They claim you. And but it's like right away, you knew I was there to like make some goofs, but like I got in your line to like, which was so cool too, the way it was set up, where it was like, Burrow and Josh Allen and Kyle and Mark and everybody kind of doing their, they do their footwork and whatnot before a pass. And then Jordan would call it a line and you would run a route and catch a ball. And you were so cool right away. I was like, yo, I'm here to obviously like try to catch a ball. I think I even said like, I'm trying to get in the league, and you smirked and kind of knew that I was like full of shit, but you were like, well, good luck, man. Like it's, go get it. I think you said. Like some cool fucking black guy slang. You were like, dude, fucking live it, follow your dreams, man. And I was like, fucking Christian Kirk's the fucking man. And I just wanted to be your best friend. And then we get out there and we're actually like running, like, I also thought it was going to be kind of like running through the motions a little bit. And then I see you fucking just dart it to the corner and just make this smooth ass catch. And I was like, all right, I guess I need to really try. And then I don't know if you saw when they were all in on Josh Allen throwing me a heater into my yeah, dude. I mean, I'm still bleeding from the abdominal muscles.
You're no bleeding.
But do you get catches like do you ever see like Kyler, mid game just chuck one where you're like, oh, dude, I need to, is there extra prep in your brain when you see the ball come zipping off his hands at a speed that you're maybe like weren't anticipating?
Yeah, it's tough because you try not to think about that. I would say as a receiver, the more like you say, like it's third down and it's third down and 3, and he gives you a slant, and Kyler's coming to you, and he's going to throw it as hard as he can because he's got to fit it in between that small window between the linebacker and the corner that's draped all over you. We in our room, we always say, like, don't let the game speed you up. And so, like, once you like get all like pent up, you're like, oh shit, the ball's coming towards me. It makes it 100 times worse. You just kind of got to like play it out. And then after the fact, you're like, yeah, he just drilled that. Like, it's just something that you honestly, you train for it. Like I said, that's why I go out there in California and stuff like that and catch from all different types of quarterbacks, because they all have their own way of releasing the ball and it all comes out different. But like, they all have different arm strengths. And so you get a guy like Josh who throws the ball 100 miles per hour at all times. That builds you up like for those moments. You know what I mean? It just all kind of accumulates, and it's just muscle memory at the end of the day.
What was it? Were you a super football crazed kid growing up in Arizona? Like, was that just from the get go? Because I've heard, obviously some athletes are like you said, held a ball at a young age, and then some, I was talking to Mark Sanchez a couple of days ago, and I didn't even know he wanted to be a QB until like it was 7th or 8th grade. And I was like, that seems late to me, but I guess, did you know football was going to be it? Like, you were going to go full steam ahead from an early age?
No, so I played football, but I was a very like active outdoorsy kid. I like to say I had a lot of West Coast in me because I was always like riding my bike, skateboarding and stuff like that. Like,
you were about to say skateboard, and I was like, dude, I gotta know that's what you were up. Like, how many do you still skateboard?
Oh yeah, I still got a BMX bike too.
Fuck, dude, AZ's a good spot for that, right?
Great spot. And so I loved BMX. I loved riding my skateboard and stuff like that. Like, I was always outside doing that type of stuff, and I was always I figured out early that I was fast, and so that's what got me by being good at football for a while. I wasn't big at all. I was always the smallest kid on my team, but I was just faster than everybody.
You outran everybody, huh?
Everybody. And so
how pissed were older guys from you? And did it make you feel so cool when like older guys were like, God damn, I can't catch them?
So it's funny. My first 2 seasons of football, you'll actually enjoy this. My dad forged my birth certificate when I was 5 so I could play a year up to play football.
Are you fucking serious?
Tackle football. And so
that's so gangster. Oh my God.
So I was like the youngest, littlest kid out there, and they were like, everyone's like, he's awful small to be out there. And I played I rotated at right tackle and like defensive line, and I would just get destroyed, always coming back, crying and stuff like that. And so I think it was the end of my second season, the coach would just let the kids play whatever position they wanted to play. Yeah. And so I never got the ball. So I'm like, I want to play running back. And they're kind of like, oh, okay. So it was like the last game of the season, we're up by a couple of touchdowns. They put me at a running back. I get the ball, I go score. And they were like, they go to my dad, like, why don't you tell us he could run like that? Second time they give me the ball, go score. So they're like, all right, yeah, next season you're going to be our running back. And so, yeah, but I was just outrunning everybody, and nobody knew I was fast. And then I just
took footage of that, yeah?
Oh, yeah, we got all the footage.
I was going to say, dude, because to just score every time you get the ball, I mean, did you also have kind of like some shimmies and some shakes, or were you just like catching a hole and just see you later? There was no stopping you.
Yeah, that's just like, it was just God-given at that point. And you see like a lot of people, especially like really talented running backs, that's all God-given. Like, there's just some things that you can't teach, you know what I mean? And so that's how it was for me. But
so you thought you were going to be running back for a minute, yeah?
Oh, I played running back all the way until I got to high school.
God damn.
Yeah, until I got to high school. And then a kid by the name of DJ Foster was the senior running back at Saguaro when I got there. And obviously DJ was all-world, scored like 60 touchdowns his senior year. And so
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of touchdowns. And I got moved to wide receiver as a freshman, played up and played varsity. And so that's how the whole receiver thing started.
Same thing. Did you kind of pull what you did as a freshman on varsity? Were you just like ripping up the like junior and senior DBs?
Yeah, I got my first 2 offers after my freshman year, and I think I was first team, or I was like all-state honorable mention. I was like all freshman team, for max preps, in the country, and it just kind of all took off from there.
Is that surreal to even like, because again, you're having these like accomplishments and accolades, and like, the proof's in the pudding. People probably, even like prior to high school, or probably like starting to be like, dude, you're fucking like trying to just get on the Kirk bandwagon, and just you're starting to feel that like, oh man, I'm definitely on. I got something special here. But when you start getting the letters freshman year and just attention nationally, are you able to stay just completely focused and grounded, or is it so new and overwhelming that you kind of like lock yourself in your room and you're like, holy shit, dude, like I need to take a breath because like I'm NFL bound if I keep my shit together? Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy because I was like football crazed. I was always like on my computer looking up who was the best seniors to come out of each class, like
Oh, nice.
5 stars. I was looking at everybody. I was just obsessed with that. I was like, I want to be a 5-star. Like, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to go.
Look at how they did it. See if you could emulate that.
Yeah, and so I'm more blessed than I would say many people that are in my position. I have both of my parents. I come from a great family, and so they were both in my lives, and they kept me very, very disciplined and narrow-minded, and just in a sense of if you want something, you got to go get it. And this little kid, high school stuff, outside of football that you think is cool and you want to jack around that your friends are doing, most likely they're not going to end up where you want to be if you want to partake in all that other shit. So
they're like, you see that guy jacking off outside the McDonald's? And you're like, yeah, that's Trevor. You're like, exactly. Fucking you ain't kicking it with him anymore because that's what he's doing tomorrow night. And you're studying game tape. Yeah.
Exactly right. And so I don't know. I realized where I wanted to go very, very, very soon.
Yeah.
And I realized like I didn't want to just like, play high school football and play college and hope that I made it to the NFL. It was like, I want to be a 5-star. I want to go to a top 10 university. I want to be an All-American, and I want to get drafted in round 1 or 2. That was like high school. I already knew that's what was going to happen.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
See that to even be that specific, like I want to go in the first 2 rounds, because I mean, that's also though, that's a goal, because I'm sure if you're playing with the intention of, I just want to get drafted, I feel like that's too lofty of a mindset, right? Like you gotta be like those first 2 rounds, that's where people truly remember those guys, but it's also it's validating, I would assume, more so than getting picked later. Man, so A&M, Texas A&M is like obviously like just a quintessential college football town, stadium, team. I'm sure you had like a shit ton of offers. Was it where did it fall? Where did it rank with the places? And what was that recruitment process like? Because from what I've seen in movies like Blue Chips or fucking Varsity Blues or, just any Friday Night Lights, like that shit looks so just dope and fun to be. It's almost, I did the frat thing at USC, and it's like, that's a piece of it where you got these dudes being like, yo, come to a Laker game, dude. Come sit courtside, and then we're going to fucking shave your legs and make you sit on a wall for 8 weeks. And you're like, all right, cool. That seems like that balances out.
Right.
But like when they're coming at you, just telling you how great you are, is that awesome or is it scary?
It's scary. I mean, it's scary. It's a lot to deal with. I'm not even gonna lie, because like you said, everybody in that organization, whatever school that you're talking to, is going to tell you you're the best thing since sliced bread. And so, especially nowadays with social media, like the shit I see, it's honestly ridiculous. I'm like, I don't know how these coaches can sit here and tell these kids like, you're going to be the next Lamar Jackson. Like, what are we talking about? It's just the recruiting process is insane. I loved it. It's a lot though. Like, I remember taking, like, literally sitting on my bedroom floor, and like it was like I had to schedule meetings with coaches. Like, I'll be on the phone for 5 hours with recruiting coaches.
What could they possibly be telling you for 5 hours?
They just want to talk. We just want to get to know you and tell you more about our school and how great you look.
It's almost like I envision the coach laying in his bed, twirling his hair, being like, what you thinking about? And you're like, dude, it's been 5 hours, man. Can we just I'll call you tomorrow or next week.
That's how it was. It was phone call after phone call. And so funny, Kyle was obviously a very highly recruited recruit coming out of Arizona. We had been boys since middle school.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, me and Kyle grew up together.
Oh, that's extra special. That's awesome.
So me and Kyle grew up out here in Scottsdale, and Kyle was the #1 quarterback in the country at the time and had every school recruiting him too. He was taking an unofficial to Texas A&M, and I was like a sophomore. I had like 3 offers at the time, and he was like, "Hey, can I bring my buddy on the visit with me?" And they're like, "Yeah, what's his name?" And they're like, he's like, "It's Christian Kirk. He's just gonna come check it out with me." And I remember going with him, and I got there, and they're like, "You're pretty good." And I was, they're like, "You're young, whatever." And so they're like, we're going to keep evaluating you. And I loved the visit. I loved every second of it. They showed me a lot of love, even though they hadn't even offered me yet. And they came out. Coach Sullivan ended up offering me. Things were a little cheesy, but like it's love at first sight.
Yeah.
Like it was my first visit, and I'm like seeing Kyle Field. I'm seeing all this shit. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so they're just coming off of Johnny Manziel era. Like they had all the hype in the world, and so they ran the spread offense in the SEC. And I remember it came down to A&M, ASU, Auburn, Ohio State, and I want to say UCLA. But yeah, man. I mean, ASU was tough to turn down because it was the whole hometown hero, and they sold me on that. I took my official visit. The game they beat Notre Dame, they upset Notre Dame, where Notre Dame was like top 10 in the country. And, that shit was wild. And it was just like, I didn't know I was going to A&M until like 2 nights before I was going to commit. And I graduated early. And so this was like December, and it was like 2 nights before. And I just like woke up one morning. I was like, yeah, I'm going to A&M.
Wow. What did ASU do that was so, do you feel like extra special? Like, obviously, I'm sure they are just prodding on that. Like, dude, like you're 20 minutes from home. Like Old Town's right there. They bring in some bros, being like, dude, we got I know Brett at fucking Frogs and Ladders, and we can go every Friday, dude, if we want. Like, what sort of extra hometown thing did they throw at you that you were like, oh, all right, I've never heard of that?
Well, it was sick because when I took my official visit, the recruits are allowed to be on the field, like for pregame. And when I walked out, they made sure that no other recruit that was there that day was walking out the tunnel for pregame. And so I came out before the team even came out for the pregame warm up. And so they walked me out, and I'm like kind of walking along the field, and like half of the stands, like the student section, is chanting "Hometown Hero," and then they got like the signs, and like people have my face and like paint their number, like. It was nuts, and I'm looking like, this isn't for real. And I remember they won that game, and like all my friends went there. I had like 3 best friends that went to ASU that played ball there, and so obviously DJ was there, and it was tough to turn down. But I knew I had to get away from Arizona just to get a change of scenery and just honestly stay out of trouble, man. It's easy to get in trouble out here. It's a fun place to live. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to look at, and so it's just like. I knew where I wanted to go, like I said. And so I was like, let me go and place myself in College Station, Texas, where I'm an hour and a half away from every major city. And I'm going to go focus on ball.
Yeah. If you're away from the distractions, if they are an hour and a half, that's like just far enough away to not. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. It's like Scottsdale and Flagstaff. You're like, dude, I could go up, get a massage, see what happens. Or I could stay near campus and follow my dream. Does the A&M, like, is that fan base and that stadium, I mean, is it as bonkers as it looks? Is it like second to none as far as the ambiance when you walk in? Like, tell me that first time walking through the tunnel. Freshman year, dude, I think you were over, it was like 1,079 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's insane. I don't know if that was a record. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say second to none. Like without a doubt, there's nothing like it. I don't think. Wait, when you're walking in that tunnel and like they got the drums playing in front of you, and the Corps cadets walk out in front of you with the drums, and then they start playing that "Power" by Kanye West, and the whole stadium's chanting it. Like I get goosebumps every time I think about it and I see it, and just like looking back on the games that I played in, when the stadium was holding like 111,000 people. It's just you can't really explain it. And just being on that field and returning a punt against Alabama on like college game day, like you can't script that type of stuff.
Welcome to King Squad Hotel. May I have your last name, please?
Good morning, ma'am. Can I help you?
Oh my, what happened?
Bellmen are clumsy and stupid.
Stella Bellman. You've had this job since high school, right?
Well, actually, now I am the bell captain.
All right, kid. You ready for check-ins?
I was born.
I think he was gonna say I was born ready.
Steve, the captain. Captain Steve.
The closest thing we have to a god on earth, Gunther Gashamane!
It's worse than I thought.
He's a complete slime ball, right?
Oh, yeah, no question.
Do you feel my foot on your foot?
That's not me.
There's something under the table that feels like a foot.
What are you doing right now?
I'm working.
I got a promotion. I just lied to Kelly.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, man. I just want another shot. Sid Whitman worked his way up the ladder and bought the hotel.
Mr. Boss!
Do me a favor. Take it easy on the Bellman, would you? I'd rather have crack guard melt my balls.
Take care, boys.
I mean, it's a huge scam. And those girls were in on it, too.
Don't you want to know what our bodies are capable of?
Girl, yes, definitely. I just work here during the day, but my nights is off.
Let's do this! Gunther is conning everyone with Spirit Fresh.
You broke into a guest room.
This is unacceptable.
He has been impersonating a manager, and that is a felony.
I don't think that's a felony.
He should be fired!
Get set!
Bunch of really real G's, burning trees till we low, sitting by 45 like I'm Jordan on the floor. Here we go, guess the brain is what they say my name for.
I mean, I'm not sure he's ready, but
Shut up, bitch.
With our minds, we begin to urinate, and then, for real, into our pants.
I'm unforgettable.
Is the athletic, like student, like, you know, I was at SC 01 to 05 for the Reggie Bush liner. I got 1 year of Palmer, Carson, and then or maybe two actually, freshman, sophomore year, and then liner junior and senior with Reggie Bush and Lindell, and just, you know, that whole 30 for 30 Trojan War team. Like, I was there for that, and that seemed bonkers to me. And just knowing a few of the football players and getting an insight into like being one at a prestigious school, what the pressure's like, what the boosters are like, and then like fans. And I mean, is it even like, is it easy or super difficult to blend into like campus life? Do you feel like you're walking around, everyone's always staring at you, especially after your freshman year, dude? I mean, you came out of the gate, like letting everybody know, like, and people, college kids especially, and all sports fans love when somebody who just got there is all of a sudden like they can put their superstar label on or be like, that's our guy. Like, people love that. So I'm sure they did that to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't easy to blend in on campus. And, you know, especially when you go to school in Texas where it's football or nothing, you know, they're going to know who you are. But it was fun, man. Just people are so nice there and like respectful, and they're football crazy, but you know, it wasn't nothing too overboard. Like, when we go out and stuff, you know, it got a little out of hand and whatnot, but people wanted pictures and just stuff like that. But campus, you know, I feel like our academic staff did a real good job of, like, for me, my junior year, my last year there, like, I had 2 classes, you know, early morning where I would get in and just get out, you know, and I wasn't really on campus that much. And so they did a good job of doing it for that. But yeah, it's a real thing. It's just like trying to like blend in and just kind of be another student, you know, going to school.
Do you have any, I don't know, were there like hazing? Who was the rival with A&M?
We did. So they say it's Texas, but that we don't play anymore. You know, and they also like our SEC rival is LSU, but we beat LSU 2 years ago, but you know, it's just kind of, it goes back and forth.
Do you ever remember or get anything from opposing fans? Like, I remember playing high school basketball. I just drove by, because I'm up in Seattle right now, high school. I drove by Mount Lake Terrace where, you know, I had big poofy hair and I wore a headband when I played, and their fans were crazy, and they were like one of the best teams in the state. And they called me like gay Elvis and like all this. I mean, like, their fans were just, they would yell. One kid even tried to spit at me once when I was like about to shoot a 3 in the corner. Like, you just got those fans hugged up right up against you there in the corner. But like, obviously collegiate fans, a little more separate, thankfully. But like, was there ever a game where you were like, oh shit, like this is getting real, because you were starting to show a name for yourself, and maybe the fans were recognizing it. So they're like, dude, fucking, we're getting in Kirk's head tonight.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I'll probably say each time we went to Death Valley, and I'm actually happy because not a lot of people get to say they played at Death Valley at night, and that's next to Kyle Field. That's probably the best atmosphere to play in. Like it's real deal when you're playing LSU at night.
Yeah.
And those people down there at Ole Miss are crazy too. Ole Miss, you know,
they seem like it. That's like Bobby Boucher territory.
Oh yeah, it's a little different down there. That was like the one place, you know, I'm a West Coast kid, and so, you know, playing in the South was different. We go on the road and we get to go to Knoxville and Mississippi State, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, just pulling up to Ole Miss for the first time, I was like, yeah, this is definitely not what I'm used to. This is a whole different world down here.
Oh yeah. Would your folks travel to games like and all that and just?
Yeah, they were awesome. They made it to They made it to almost all of my collegiate games.
That's fucking crazy. But yeah, what a dream. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying, just because, like I said, A&M was such like, when you go to school in the South, family is number one, and so, you know, all the parents and stuff like that, you know, they embrace you with open arms. And
that's awesome.
You know, when I couldn't make it home for holidays and stuff like that, you know, my teammates' parents, you know, were taking me in, like treating me like I was their kid. It made me like twice. Like it's just, it was amazing. And so, you know, they treated my family the same way. My family made great relationships, and so they would just go and for the simple fact that they had friends out there, and they were building a life out there, and they were always down there. So yeah, they were making it all the games.
Is that an extra, I don't know if incentive to play hard, but just like my mom, you know, would come to all my basketball games and would, you know, embarrass me sometimes. She'd scream out, we're in a playoff game, I'm at the free throw line, down by 2, I'm at the line, like 8 seconds left. She screams as it's dead quiet, just have fun. And I'm like, Mom, fuck. Like it was just, but you know, she didn't know how to shut off the love and support. When you got your folks at the game, does knowing that like do something, or are you just so locked in that it doesn't phase you one way or the other?
Sorry, you like cut out for a little bit.
Saying like if your folks are at the game, does it add something to the way that you play, like versus them not being there, or are you so dialed in that even if they're not, you're like, well, I talked to them right before, so that's the same shit. Yeah,
it got a little easier as I got older, but it's still nice knowing that they're there.
Yeah.
In college, you know, it's tough in college home games. They usually sit your parents in the same spot, so I was able to find them. You know, if my dad, like, it's weird, me and my dad got, you know, if you couldn't tell, a real close connection, and you know, so when I would look towards their way, he would always stand up and just give me a little gesture, like a let's go or something like that.
Yeah.
So he'd always know, like, if I'm looking in the stands, like, he'll stand up. But NFL's been a little more difficult because they sit your family wherever the hell and just like all over the place. So I know that they're there, but, you know, I can't really see them as much. But, you know, it's still, you know, even when they're not there, you know that they're watching and stuff like that, and they're proud, and that's really all that matters, you know.
Did you have goosebumps or were you reminiscing a lot since the draft just happened? Like that was only 3 years ago for you, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, man. Like what you're doing in the NFL already is just so fucking bonkers. And I know you're so humble, so you're not going to really like, you know, yes and that too hard, but like you've got to see like guys that are going through the draft or just went through it, and like, first of all, how many guys like reached out to you to ask like, yo, clearly like I want to be drinking the same shit you drank because you're 3 years in the league and you made an impact right away. I'm sure some of that, and Mark and I have talked about this a lot, where it's like, where you go has a lot to do with it. The system, the coach, like how many guys are ahead of you. There's so many variables. And, but do you think you can kind of fight through that and still make a case for yourself as far as being like a, you know, someone who should be high on the depth chart, just because of your play? Like how much can you really control if you go into an environment where maybe the chips are stacked against you?
Yeah, I think it's 50-50.
Yeah.
You know, just the unfortunate part, in the nature of our league is, based on, draft status. And, at the end of the day, it is a business, and we all know that. And so the guys who are picked in the first, second, and third round are most likely going to get more shots to perform and prove themselves before they fail until somebody takes their spot. But when you got like an undrafted guy and, he works his tail off every day, he does everything right and nothing wrong and just outwork. Everybody at some point always gets their opportunity. One of the best guys we got in our room. He works as hard as he can and does everything right. But, they're going to give the guys that, they pay more money, the opportunity to succeed. But at the same time, that can get taken away from you really fast if you prove that you provide no value to the team. That was one of the things my offensive coordinator, my rookie year, Mike McCoy, told me is the quickest way for you to earn respect and to earn value on this team is, number one, prove to the vets that you can help them win games, because they've been around, they work their tail off, and especially the guys that are 5 years plus, they're here for a reason. And so once you're a high drafted guy and you're just doing as you're told and not much more else, and you mess up from time to time, you're late to a meeting and all you care about is, your chain that you're going to buy, like, vets don't, like, they don't care about that. They don't want guys like that in the locker room. But if you can control your approach and you can show that you're a professional, everything that you do from a young age, you gain respect really, really early. And I think that's what helped me out was, I just always had a professional mindset and always just kind of did everything that I was asked to do, and then just found 2 more steps after that to do that as well. And it gave me respect.
Did you talk to anybody like from this past draft? Like, did you reach out or have anybody reach out to you?
Yeah, I had of course, there's 2 receivers from A&M that went into the draft process. That actually one of them was out there in San Committee. His name was Courtney Davis. He was in this draft class, and I played 2 years with Courtney at A&M. And just talking to him about it, and just honestly, man, I was like, just enjoy it, because it's a stressful time. That whole draft process is crazy stressful, just because you have no idea where you're gonna go. Like, I felt like I never had anxiety, and I developed anxiety, going through the draft process. I'm living out of suitcases, boxes. I had all my stuff packed up, 3 weeks before the draft, because I was like, I got to get ready to move somewhere. You know what I mean? And
because you're going the next day, more or less, yeah.
Yeah, and I got blessed because I didn't have to go anywhere. I just had to unpack again. But for most guys, you could move all the way across the country. You just have no idea where to go and the situation you're going to fall into, and everybody wants to play. You're uncertain about the future. So I was like, man, just take it day by day and enjoy every second. That's it.
Did Steve Wilkes was the coach at the time when you got drafted, right?
Yeah.
Did they reach out to you at some point and even give you like a heads up, like, yo, we're thinking about taking you? Or are you just going into this thing being like, I got no fucking clue? Like, even I feel like sometimes teams will, start to put something out there, maybe give you a heads up, like, yo, we're thinking about this. But then it's like, well, I don't even want to start wrapping my head around getting locked into one team. Like, obviously a lot of teams probably, want me at this point. It's just going to be about where things fall. But when did you know that AZ was locking you up? Because that's like, again, dude, like, to do what you did in AZ in high school. And then, I mean, I would love to see the stats on a hometown kid getting to play for his hometown team. But that's pretty fucking bonkers. So when did you like know that was about to be the reality?
It's like this for most guys. I don't know if you know this, but I knew I was going to the Cardinals 1 pick before they picked me. I got the phone call.
That's really how it is.
Yeah. It's literally one, like, Arizona kind of is like the next pick, and your phone rings and you're like, oh, this is happening.
Dang, I guess that would make sense. That's why you've seen just like grown men just losing their shit, right? Like, you wouldn't react like that, I don't think, if you knew like an hour prior, right?
So like, I'll give you a little bit of the background. You get every team gets what they call top 30 visits. And so they get to bring in 30 different players that they'd like to bring in that they're interested in. Right after the combine, I flew back to Arizona, and Arizona brought me in that day. And it's like an official visit to a college. You go see the facility, meet with the coaches, take dinner, blah, blah, blah. So after the dinner, it was me, Steve Keim, offense coordinator Ty Mike McCoy, receiver coach Kevin Garver. Had a great dinner. They're like, all right, man, enjoy the process. Hopefully you hear from us. And that was that. And I was kind of like, oh, like, is that? I was like, damn, that's it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was like,
no high five, no fucking chest bump, no nothing.
Yeah, like hope you hear from you. Like, okay. So I went to Carolina, Pittsburgh, New England, and that was it. I think that was it. And I visited those teams as well, and it's kind of the same thing, learn a little bit of offense, blah, blah, blah. So get to, some GMs, like the week leading up to the draft, you get pretty much every team calls you and be like, is this Christian Kirk? Yes. Is this the phone you'll be using on draft day? Yes. Is this your agent? Yes. All right. Good luck on the draft. Hang up. And so you just kind of confirm everything. So, yeah, man, obviously I was hoping to go late round one because the Patriots had the 30th or 29th pick.
Yeah.
Dallas had a late pick too. I was projected to maybe go to Dallas. And so, like, that whole back end of day one was rough on me just because, as a kid, I don't shoot. Not that second round is by any means something I need to be disappointed in.
Yeah.
It worked out, but, you want to go first round.
Come on.
And so I had like 200 family and friends with me in Paradise Valley, and we had rented out a house, big party. So I got up the next morning. I got a workout in, just kind of cleared my head, chill by the pool all day. And so, we're sitting there, and it's like, I think I was the 10th pick or like 7th pick in the second round. And
do you start to kind of throw some back too? When you're at the pool, you're like, hey, let's get some margaritas going. Because if I'm not picked this round, I definitely want to be fucked up for the third round.
100%. I started right when I got done with my workout. It was probably 9 o'clock. I started cracking it open.
Good for you, dude. You're like, dude, it's White Claw time. I don't care if the clock says 10:15.
Even the day before the first round, I mean, I started
200 people, dude.
I started getting so stressed because everybody's watching. Like, like the picture. I have a picture on my Instagram of like me on the phone when I get the call, and there's just people surrounding me. And so I remember the bartender we had, they were just like, "Would you like another drink?" And I'm just locked in. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And I'm just kind of nervously drinking. So when first round, got over with, I stood up and I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, that was a long 5 hours that I totally forgot about. But
I casually sipped 19 mojitos.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, second round, it was right, pick before, and the 602 number popped up. And I was like, oh, it's probably just a scout. Because they got scouts from all over the place on different teams.
Or maybe a homie from high school, dude.
I told everybody not to call me.
Christian, man.
I told everybody, you better not call me. Do not call me.
Oh, and yeah. Because how many of those friend texts are you getting nonstop, right? Like, that's bullshit, man. The Bengals should have taken you or some shit, right?
No, so I had to go to Sprint and just make sure that like everybody that had they did something to where like only a certain few people could get through to my phone.
Right.
And so I got on the phone and I'm like,
so 602 comes through and you pick it up and you're like thinking it's not anyone that you're gonna have any care for, but it's Steve Keim from the Arizona Cardinals. How you doing? And I was like, no. And then like my heart immediately dropped, and my voice, like you're just like trembling, like really nervous. Dude.
I couldn't even talk. And so everybody's still looking at me because nobody has any idea. Like they don't know if I forget who had the pick before. I think it was like the 49ers or something like that. So they're either thinking 49ers or they're thinking like the two teams after. And so nobody knows. So I get off the phone and I remember like it goes dead silent. And I kind of go back like this and my mom goes, so, and I like kind of just look around. I was like, I'm going to be a Cardinal. And the whole place erupts. And I remember I always said, I was like, I'm not going to cry. And I hugged my mom. Lost it. Just absolutely lost it.
Oh man, dude, I'm getting teary-eyed to listen to that shit.
So I'm hugging my mom, and I'm just losing it. My sisters are there, my dad's hugging me, and they're all crying. They're like, "We're so proud of you, like you did it." And so this is a crazy part. So
there's a crazier part?
Well, not crazy, but like ESPN is there, like all the live cameras are there for the draft reaction. So it's not live yet on the TV. So like, Christian, we need you to pull it together, act like you don't know.
Fuck that.
So because they're like the world doesn't know that you know already. So I had
dude, that's kind of fucked. So they're trying to pull the rug out from your emotional moment.
Yeah,
it's great. You got drafted. Yeah, hometown team. Yeah, your whole family's there. Yeah, suck it up, dude.
Yeah. So like it was like 2 celebrations. So they're like, all right, pull it together.
Okay.
So like when you see me, like when they announce it, I'm like sitting on the couch. I'm like slouched back, and you could tell like I had just been crying, and they announced it on TV, and then everybody goes nuts again, and we had to like kind of recreate the moment. But it's crazy, man. It's a life-changing moment.
Wow, dude, that is so. I mean, I then you probably just get inundated with like old PE teachers, fucking ex-girl. I mean, everyone's just like season ticks ? Right? Like,
yeah. No, everybody you thought who you're like, oh, I won't have to deal with them. I'm gonna move away, and then you're like, oh, you're back home. So
back in my life, have you? Okay, so take me through. I mean, that's bonkers. That's a great story, by the way. That you'll never forget that. What's the first day then? Once the dust settles and you start getting locked in, you get that football brain back on. Driving up to, I guess, the stadium, right?
So the next morning, and this is the kicker too about even the first rounders got to do it. Like, yeah, you can go out and party and celebrate, which you're supposed to, but you got to be up the next morning at like 6 a.m. to go in for an early morning press conference. So I got up the next morning, got my suit on, whatever, and I went up to, the Cardinals facility, had my press conference. They give you your iPad and all that stuff, and you got to get ready for rookie minicamp. I think rookie minicamp was the following week where we reported.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. All right, so does Larry Fitzgerald, the fucking legend, when does he hit you up and go, yo, welcome to the family? Because I've heard this I did the roast of David Ortiz like 3 years ago, and it was like, Bill Burr was there and Gronk and Dustin Pedroia from the Red Sox. Like it was a big East Coast thing, right? And Gronk, in the short time we talked, I was dressed up in full prosthetic as an 80-year-old Yankees fan, so he didn't even know I was a fucking a young dude anyway. But once I broke the fourth wall and was like, hey, I'm not an old man, he was like, oh, shit, I don't know. But he told me that, like, and I didn't really think about this, but he's like, dude, he's like, everyone kind of is with their guys, and you're kind of, he's like, I'm with the receivers and tight ends, and he's like, I don't really he's like, me and Tom don't really kick it. Like, we're on the field, we do our things. He's like, but he's like, I don't have a ton of friends on the team. He's like, everyone's in their groups, and then you kind of come together. And obviously he's probably speaking from his experience, but
right.
I just thought everyone kind of was friends with everybody, but it sounds like every program is different. So I'm curious, like with a guy like Larry, who is on such a pedestal for most football fans and players, I'm assuming he like reaches out and does something, right? Sends a bucket of fucking fleshlights or something. What does he do? Like,
so 2 weeks before the draft, I don't know if so. I had known Larry. I met Larry when I was 5 years old. There was like a picture going around of me at his football camp, me and him.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so that was like the big thing. Once that happened, that picture got pushed everywhere. He had a football camp his rookie year in Flagstaff, and I went, and there was a picture of me and my football pads with Larry. I was 5, and I was 5 years old, like 5, 6 years old. He's a rookie in the NFL.
Holy shit, dude.
We had known each other like in passing, and he had said congratulations to me after my college career, and I think I had a big game. He's like, go win the Biletnikoff, like just stuff like that, and always had been an idol of mine. And 2 weeks before the draft, I played in his celebrity softball game.
Yeah,
he invited me out, and I played in a celebrity softball game. He's like, good luck, man. Like, hopefully we can be teammates. Sure shit, we're teammates.
Holy
and
shit.
So we just ended up, building a relationship from there. And now he's like one of my best friends now. During quarantine, we've been working out together at his house every day, and just
he's probably got a real piece of shit gym, huh?
Yeah, it's awful.
It's a couple of benches, like a curves, like the stretchy things that got at curves.
Yeah, it's everything's got rust. Like you'll probably you get in your cut.
No, it's bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah, he lives a good life, but he's so good to everybody in the room though. He loves being around the guys, and I think that's one thing that keeps him coming back is, we're such a young room now, and especially with my class, there was a bunch of guys that he kind of grew close to all of us, and we keep saying that we keep pulling the 20s out of them. We're starting to give him Benjamin Button. He's going backwards.
What have you I mean, I'm sure learned so much, but like what do you in your first year, like what did you get from him? And it can be an off-field thing too, because that's also a guy I feel like that's done it right off the field, as far as you can't be as revered as he is if your play isn't consistent, but also you do stuff in the community, like you've got a rep of being a good guy. You're not popping up in Old Town, like fucking holding, wet t-shirt contests or motorboat festivals. Like he's doing like things the right way. So like, does he tell you about that, or you just kind of know it and you're like, since I look up to him, I'm just going to kind of follow suit?
Yeah. I mean, I've obviously learned so much, and I still am continually learning. It's like little things that he does that I pick up on, and I've taken and used it, and I've seen where it's gotten me. And it's just majority of it's off the field, to be honest with you. Like his approach on the field is consistent as all get out, and he's the GOAT for a reason in my eyes, and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer that is still playing. But just the little stuff that he does off the field, like it'll be a random Wednesday night after practice, and he'll call me and be like, "Christian, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just chilling." He's like, "All right, can you meet me at Phoenix Children's Hospital in 10 minutes? We're going to go say hi to this kid real quick." Like just little things like that. We used to go to the movies we go every Friday. My rookie year, we'd always go to the movies, and we'd be getting popcorn and stuff like that. And he'd hand it'd be $10 whatever. And he'd just hand the registered dude 50 and be like, "Just pay for whoever's behind me." Just little stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And you never see him posting about things he does in the community. It's always everybody else posting what he's doing.
Right.
And like, you don't have to donate and then immediately make a video montage on your Instagram with Drake, saying, Drake in the background saying how good you are. You know what I mean? Like for special occasions, yes. Like if you want to, like,
call attention to that organization or whatever, yeah.
Exactly. Like we're all building our brand. We're all using our platforms to greater, for the greater good. But when it comes to little things like that, he's above and beyond anybody else, and just how to carry yourself and hold yourself in certain situations, and from little things of how to dress, and it's life lessons and things that he's taken and he's used, and just the way that his mind works. It's the best person to be around on a daily basis.
How fired up are you for this season? I mean, it sounds like they're working diligently to figure out what's going to happen. I just listened to, Seattle Sports Radio talking about the no fan thing. But that aside, like Hopkins, you, Larry, you guys beefed up your D. Like Kyler's coming in, obviously probably way more confident than last year now that he's just comfy in the system. Like you got a young fucking stud coach that's like showing dope ass views of his house on draft day. I mean, like there's a new swagger in AZ, man. And I'll tell you, speaking as a Hawks fan, I'm like, hey guys, can you give Clowney the fucking money he wants?
Right.
So we can stay competitive, because AZ is, I mean, dude, right? Like is that something that's discussed with you guys over text? Like, holy shit, like you watching the draft texting, or when Hop, got when that deal got made for him, like now when you look at this roster, are you just like, holy shit, man, sky's the limit?
Yeah, we know, we can actually compete and vie to get a playoff spot and really take this thing somewhere. And it is exciting, and I can't wait. Fans or not, I just want to get back out there and play. And
right,
like with the way we ended last season, and I hate to say it, that big win in Seattle for us, like that really that really like go to the locker room. We're like, okay, we got something here. We got something here because it's not easy to win down there. It is not easy to win down there. That's one of the hardest places.
It
especially
is
a divisional win.
Yeah.
In Seattle at the end of the season. It's cold and windy like that. Like
by the way, you took a bite out of our like NFC West hopes. Like I can't imagine anything sweeter than knowing that you just like, took it away and hearing the 12s fucking cry into their coffees, right?
But it was good, man. Like we know we got some now, and so we're just we're just excited to put it all together, and honestly, just excited to see it in person because we're on virtual meetings and stuff like that now. So just to finally get out there is going to be fun.
Is your coach doing? Is having like a young coach? Like I don't know how much older Wilkes was than Cliff, but like is having that young energy. Like even though Pete Carroll's fucking pushing 70, like obviously like you hear from those guys that like his youthful spirit and just I don't know, like that plays a role in the way that everything from practice to Tuesday meetings or whatnot is the way people like conduct themselves. Is it I don't know, is it cool to have a guy that isn't too much older than you so that you feel, is there an extra level of relatability, or sometimes are you like, dude, you're fucking 5 years older than me, you don't really know? Like I think maybe I actually have a better idea because I'm actually the one playing. Like what's your view on that?
No, it's definitely better. One, because just the positivity. Yeah, he comes from, and he's been under old school coaches and whatnot, and coaches that have that old school mentality. But that old school mentality is 95% negative that comes out of your mouth, and it's just how it is. That's how old school coaches are, and that worked for some people and some organizations. But everything that came out of his mouth this year was positive, like always upbringing us. And yeah, you have to bite something in his ass when something's not right, but he'll do it and then move on to a positive because, there's no sense of trying to bring us down. We're grown men. We know how to own our shit. And the only thing that we need to focus on is going out there and winning on Sundays. And that was the main thing that he said is, look, I don't care if, you come in here with all your chains on, dressed in the same clothes you were in last night when you're in the building. But once we're out there on that field, we're here to work. And we're all here to work when we're in the classroom towards one common goal, and that's to win football games. And so as long as you're doing that, I could give two shits what else you do, as long as you're not breaking the law or breaking team policy. But other than that, we're here to win games. You guys are professionals. This is what you're paid to do. And so I think just having that, knowing we have that leniency to like do whatever we need to do to get in our groove and be the best that we can be, and knowing that, he's going to be there by us our whole side and put us in the best position to win. It's just good. And you relate better to him. And I think it's just it's been a great move for us.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, you're definitely dialed into the I mean, you've probably had your fair share of media over the years, starting since high school. But dude, you're one of the best I've seen at just giving full answers back. I can't tell you the amount of times as a comic, especially when you see in these post-game interviews, like being like, so dude, young coach, that's gotta be exciting, huh? Yeah, no, it's gonna be he's got a great energy, and he's got some cool shirts. Next question, and you're like, Jesus Christ, all right. So I appreciate the thoroughness, dude. You're a thoughtful guy. All right, I don't want to keep you too much more from your fucking shooting spree you're about to do online on Twitch, but first of all, thanks for doing this, man. You're the shit. Yeah, you're just as cool off the field as you are, and hopefully when this season resumes, I try to hit a lot of Seahawks games. So if they let any fans in the building, hopefully we can kick it at in Arizona or at CenturyLink.
Yeah, AZ or Seattle for sure.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, anytime. My girl is from Arizona, so the last probably 4 years we've been together 4 years. So I think almost every game the Hawks have played the Cardinals, I've flown back and we've made a thing out of it, and it's dope, dude. I mean, you speak to that real quick because it's always a good game, and for whatever reason, it's become a rivalry. I think going back to Carson Palmer, I think the years when I think the first year when the Cardinals again like put the punch took the punch hole away from our playoff card. You know what I'm saying? Like there's been this thing built, and it's always competitive. And you guys coming to us is now the toughest game of the season.
Right.
Do you feel that on the field? Like the rivalry, is there a lot of shit talking?
No, yeah, there's definitely, there's some shit talking, but I'd say the main thing about that game is just so physical. Like, when we're about to play Seattle, like it's going to be 4-quarter, like heavyweight fight. Like there's nothing being held back, and especially with that defense, and you got guys like Bobby Wagner and stuff like that. Like,
dude.
It's physical out there. Like nobody's holding back, and that's all divisional games though. Like, we got the 49ers too, and
oh yeah, dude, they're
LA. Like every game in our division. That's why people say it's the best division in the NFL right now, because
hell yeah,
just the stars that are in our division. Like now you got DeAndre Hopkins, you got Aaron Donald, you got Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, Jadeveon Clowney, you got Larry Fisher, like Chandler Jones, Patrick Peterson. Like the list goes on of how many elite players are in this division. And when we get to playing one another, it's like it's as good as it gets out there when you're talking like high level skill football players.
Oh yeah, you played against Sherm. Wasn't Sherm your first year still in the Hawks?
No, so Sherm was on. He was on the 49ers. So
okay. Does he talk a lot of shit?
No, he doesn't. Oh, I mean, every competitor is going to talk shit at some point.
Yeah.
He's definitely not, the young guy that he was before. When he was in Seattle, but it's fun because I've gotten to go up against him 2 years in a row, and just having to battle against one of the greats has been fun. And he
makes
paid
you
me
better, right?
Sorry,
makes you better, right?
100%. And he paid me a compliment after the second time we played up in San Francisco after the game, and I remember it meant a lot. And I was like, damn, that's one of those moments where you're like, Richard Sherman just paid me a compliment and said like I'm getting really good, and he likes my game and stuff like that. So that's just one of those moments. It honestly just motivates you.
Oh yeah, you get all giddy. You're like, and then you just don't know if you should overstep your boundary and be like, oh, thanks, man. Hey, do you want to play Halo online later? Or like, what's up? Like, what's Call of Duty? Like, what's your Xbox screen name?
Right.
All right, dude. Well, I want to close this out with what I've been doing. I know you're a charitable guy. I don't know if you have an organization currently that you're working with, but I'd like to do a close out with the game, a question game where every correct answer, I'm going to donate $100 to the charity of your choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And even if it's your Call of Duty controller fund, we'll make a PayPal exchange. All right. Question number 1. Who could win in a race between you or Kyler Murray from the stadium to the hockey arena that's across the street?
Me.
That is correct. $100 in the bank for Christian Kirk. That is correct. Christian, what's been your favorite snack during this quarantine?
Is there a yes or no question to that? Or like, is there a right or wrong question?
I mean, just what is it? We'll see. What's your favorite snack?
My favorite snack. Oh.
What's been your favorite snack? What have you just like been going to a little too much, you think?
What is my favorite snack? I'm a big chips and guac guy.
That is correct. $200 in the bank. By the way, so am I. That's fucking, if you put me on an island, give me spaghetti and meatballs, chips and guac, probably some salsa too, and a 6-pack of Zima. What is your favorite movie quote?
It's from the Batman Dark Knight Rises. You think darkness is your ally. I was born in it.
Oh,
I like that. Hey,
that's fucking hard. All right, that's correct. $300 in the bank for Christian Kirk. Question number 4. What do you think is happening more in quarantine? Hand jobs or butt stuff?
Hand jobs.
That is correct. $400 in the bank for Christian Kirk. For sure. It's an easier go-to. Question number 5. Favorite field to play on in the NFL?
Our field.
That's correct. That is correct. $500 in the bank for Christian Kirk. Question number 6. What do you miss most about football?
Scoring touchdowns.
Fuck yeah, that is also correct. You're super good at this. That's $600 in the bank for Christian Kirk. Question number 7. What's the best binge show during quarantine? Not what have you been watching. What is the best binge show? What have you gone through and you're like, yeah, dude, this was easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. I got through this in no time and I would do it again if I had to.
Oh, so like quickest, like
Yeah, that you just easy to digest. You're gonna watch it all in one sitting because you have no choice.
oh, I don't know about one sitting, but it's pretty easy to get through. Entourage.
Whew, yeah, dude. Did you watch it when it was on?
Not when it was on, but I watched it in college. I ran through it in college like 3 times.
Oh yeah, it's the best. Jerry Ferrara, who played Turtles, a good buddy of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he when I first, I mean, that was like my go-to. That in The Office and a few others were like my go-to, like, you know, get a little high, put on some just to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
And so once I met him and had him, he's on the podcast a bunch and come to a bunch of stand-up shows, and he's just like, it's even cooler when especially, you know, you meet an athlete or an actor and they're like also a fan of the show. So then you're
Right.
like, oh, cool, I can actually talk to you. And when I say questions like, dude, did you improvise that line when you guys were at Cannes and you were trying to get a ride from Kanye and you said that shit to Drama? And it's like, and he's like, oh yeah, and he remembers everything. And
Yeah.
but that show is that show is, can't make that show nowadays.
No,
But
you'll have to let them know I'm a big fan.
oh hell yeah, dude, I'll just connect you guys.
Yeah.
I'll get them to come out when the season hits. We'll come to
Okay,
AZ.
dope.
If we're one of the 15 fans that are allowed to come in the stadium, me and Jerry will sit there courtside. All right. Was that?
I was see if I can pull some strings.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right. Question number 8. Do you think do you reminisce more about high school days or college days in football? And that means high school, yeah?
High school.
And is that just because you got, like, being in AZ still, there's more opportunity for that shit to come up, or what?
I think
Or do you wake up every morning and kiss newspaper clippings of your stats?
no, I did not do that. But I think just because I grew up with all, like, my senior class, we've been playing football together since we were in like the 4th grade. And so we grew up popcorn, like middle school, all that stuff, and then played all 4 years together at Saguaro. And so like we were real close. Like we had a special bond, and I think that's why we didn't lose many games either, because we had been playing together for so long. But yeah, I think high school.
Dude, that's the best. You still, and they're all homies now, yeah?
Homies.
It's the best. All right, question number 9. How hot is it in Arizona right now?
It's probably like 75.
That is correct. $900 in the bank for Christian Kirk. You're crushing this game, dude.
Killing it.
Final question. Most famous person in your phone that you could call right now or butt dial tonight?
Probably Odell.
Oh, shit. For real?
Yeah.
That's famous. That's dope.
Probably.
Do you guys ever work out together?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Fuck, dude. Does he?
Yeah.
What's the trick? The one-hander.
You should see, if you haven't seen his hands in person, it's freakish.
No, it's my desktop screensaver. I've seen it. That thing's fucking huge.
It's
That's why I got the 2 screens.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it is, right? Like, somebody told me once that they met Michael Jordan, and he came over as an actress, and he kind of startled her by putting his hand on her knee to kind of start to say, like, hey, what's going on, pretty lady? I'm paraphrasing. That's not what he said, but he was like, hey, what's going on? I'm Michael Hey, ever been in the sky with Air Jordan? Again, he didn't say that, but he came over with a lot of swagger. And she goes, dude, I looked down. She goes, it was the biggest fucking hand I've ever. She goes, I didn't even know you could get that much, like, skin to come out of your wrist. And I was like, yeah, I mean, like, the guy, like, you know, palmed the ball with such ease, but that has a lot to do with, yeah.
It's nuts.
Well, dude, that's correct. That's $1,000, dude.
Shit,
You crushed it.
I'm great at this game.
yeah. yeah. Well, I'll send that your way, and you can get it to where it needs to go. Do you have a charity in mind that you jam with?
I work a lot with Children's Cancer Network, so
perfect, dude.
I'll send it their way.
You're the shit, dude. Yo, man, I really appreciate you doing this. This was a blast. It was so cool to get to be on the same field with you at that camp, and you just crushed it, man. I truly hope they figure out the season. I know that you guys are going to be probably getting my Hawks way, but that's what's great about sports, man.
Yeah, it's part about it. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah,
on.
dude. Yeah,
it's fun to just chill, shoot the shit, and talk ball.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, later, Christian.
Be easy.
See you, bud.